did a lot of digging last night into some stats and some data about this Lakers-Oklahoma City series, and boy, it is going to take one massive miracle. There's going to be Moses parting the Red Sea, and then there's going to be LeBron and the Lakers upsetting Oklahoma City, and those are going to be like the two greatest miracles in the history of humanity. Just going back to what the Lakers accomplished against Houston, it's pretty remarkable because the Lakers did not really handle the ball very well. They turned the ball over a ton. That's a huge problem going into this series because Oklahoma City is as good as there is defensively, and in terms of taking the ball away and creating turnovers and scoring in transition, like these are all things that Oklahoma City is so good at. And for the Lakers, who were, again, they turned the ball over a ton against Houston. The mantra from JJ going into that series was get in the paint and rebound, box out and rebound. They didn't even really do that good of a job. But what the Lakers did do a good job of, especially in the early part of the series, was they had guys, in the case of Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard, hit big shots, right? They're going to need guys to nail shots in this series to have any chance at all because Oklahoma City they've got so many guys and they can shoot and they can get close to the rim. I mean, I've been doing all this homework last night just because I'm thinking to myself, I went on the air yesterday and I said the Lakers are going to win this thing. Now can I find a way to back up the opinion? And I'm finding it very hard to back up the opinion. It's really about LeBron and his heart and willing this team to win, and also looking smart if they win and nobody really taking it seriously if they lose. So that I'm just looking, George. I'm looking to find a way to make a point that the Lakers can actually win this thing.
You're going to get arguably, if not the most respected official to be your crew chief tonight. So you can complain all you want, but there's going to be a level of physicality that's going to come with the playoffs. And Oklahoma City will push the limits on that. They're so good at both being able to protect the paint and getting out to three-point shooters because of their length, their athleticism, and their youth, frankly, that the Lakers, you're going to think there's a hole there. Like, you're going to think there's, like, an angle for you to get to the basket, and it's going to close up very quickly. And what's going to happen is there's going to be bodies colliding. And, yeah, they'll call fouls occasionally, but at some point they're not going to call a foul on everyone. So if you're the Lakers, what I would say is utilize that to your advantage. Don't let them just be the aggressors defensively with their physicality. You need to have a level of physicality. Now, I know Marcus Smart's going to bring that to the table, right? I know LeBron's going to bring that to the table. Will everyone else bring that to the table is my question.
Well, I can say this. Looking at Austin Reeves in the first game that he came back against Houston, there were probably at least 3 different times where he was bullied around and thrown to the floor and kind of ragdolled. So if Austin Reeves in the last week has been able to, eat a bunch and get into the gym and lift and maybe add a few pounds because he's been off for a month and, wasn't able to probably do a lot of those kinds of things in terms of like his regular in-season lifting routine, maybe he'll bring that. Who else on the Lakers? Rui, Luke Kennard, Jackson Hayes. I mean, who else can bring that physicality that is needed? You tell me.
Hachimura. Ayton, if we're being honest. Like, Ayton is going to have to deal with a number of guys that they're going to put. I mean, Chet is one thing. Chet's not super physical, but Chet is going to fly in there. Like, he's going to literally, fly in there for rebounds and block shots and things of that nature. Like, DeAndre Ayton is going to have to be incredibly aware of where Chet Holmgren is, mostly because of just the way he kind of just cannonballs his way into the play.
So I guess for me, I'm going to simplify this, at least the way I look at basketball, and it really comes down to this. For me, can the Lakers limit their turnovers? Because, again, we go back to this Houston series, and against Houston, I think the total number was the Lakers had 26 more turnovers than Houston did in that series. Now, think about that. You're turning the ball over significantly more than your opponent. So I'll ask you this question. Why were the Lakers able to win that series when they turned the ball over as much as they did?
Well, because the Rockets can't score.
Okay, and and because the Lakers in games 1 and games 2 did score, right? I mean, in games 1 and 2, Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard both had big offensive games. In fact, really, in game 3, Marcus Smart came up kind of big too, especially in the overtime period. But those two guys, Luke Kennard and Marcus Smart, helped lead the Lakers. LeBron was driving, to your point, but those two guys made shots. So their offense made up for the lack of really holding on to the ball. They turned the ball over so much, yet they had kind of uncharacteristic offensive nights. Can you agree with that? Can you buy that?
I guess, sure.
And then what happened is they went cold. So that's why they wound up losing games 4 and 5. And then game 6, what happened? Houston went ice cold, but that was their reputation going into this series anyway, is that they didn't hit a lot of shots. They had a very low field goal percentage. So if the Lakers are going to steal game 1, as Minnesota did last night on San Antonio's home floor, for me, it's real simple. Don't turn the ball over, and you gotta have a good shooting performance. And yeah, I'm expecting LeBron, his prize picks number tonight, George, is 20.5. I think LeBron easily goes past 20.5. But
well, if he doesn't go past 20.5, they're up the creek.
Yeah, they're screwed. But who else on this team? Because once Austin Reeves came back, Austin Reeves scored 22 points in his first game back, but he scored 15 points in his second game back. It was Rui Hachimura who stepped up big, scoring against Houston in the closeout game. There's got to be not one person, I would say at least two. So whether it's Austin Reeves, Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, any one of those guys, you're going to have two, besides LeBron, both have big scoring nights.